I seen this study get quote tweeted by Sargon of Akkad. I do believe it was. Carl Benjamin tweeted it out, and he's kind of got he just generally isn't a big fan of Muslims, okay? And I can kind of understand that when it comes to the UK, the fact that they've been overrun, and because, well, the UK fire fell a long time ago, and they've only just been propped up for whatever goddamn reason. But I don't quite understand all of the stuff as well when it comes to that. But his distaste and his the flag that he planted in the ground when it came to Islam is going to fall the exact same path that every other religion has in regards to the pride agenda. I really disagree, okay? Really disagree. So he tweeted this out, and it's like, see, I told you, leftism will infect everything. That's a terrible British accent, and I have nothing but respect for Carl. I think that he's very smart, and every once in a while he has a flumpy opinion, but every once in a while everybody has a flumpy opinion, so I can't really hold that against him. So I seen this headline, and it's like, that makes absolutely zero sense. I don't understand this at all whatsoever, so I decided to pull up the article, and lo and behold, it makes total sense based on what we're dealing with right here. Okay, so it's as you can see from the headline, majority of American Muslims now support lesbian, gay, and bisexual people. Then you take a look at who wrote that. The HRC, the Human Rights Campaign. Oh, okay, cool. Human Rights Campaign, great. And this was from 2017. 2017, 6 years ago, just about 6 years ago, just a little shy of 6 years. You would have thought if that was the prevailing opinion on stuff like this, there would have been much more infiltration, because at around the exact same time, yeah, you started to have your pride flags back when they were just rainbow flags hanging up in churches, and now there's not much left of westernized Catholicism and Christianity. It's a bit of a lost cause, but mosques, they're still throwing people off roofs over there. Okay, they've got ample piles of rocks, and they aren't dealing with any of this stuff. So shout out to our imams, just with the pimp hand right now. So I seen this, and as jubilant as Carl was to tweet this out, I was like, there's got to be more to this story right here. So I'll just give you some background on Human Rights Campaign. We'll just go to their homepage right here, and they're all about equality, or equality for all and not some, breaking down barriers that divide us. It's in their best benefit in order to push this type of agenda. So of course they're going to find some sort of inroad whenever they do this. And who's the staff writer on this one? The HRC staff. Yeah, they can't even put a name to this one, but they're proud. Their biggest accomplishment was being a gigantic supporter for the Democrat Party. And what are they all about? Our work? Well, continuing the fight for equality. Together, we elected Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. That's kind of all I need to see. Won the Georgia runoffs and achieved pro-equality majorities in House and Senate. Now we're going to pass the Equality Act through Congress and ensure protection for the alphabet people nationwide. This is their pet project. This is like trying to find objective coverage when it comes to baseball. If you go to a specific team page, it's like, okay, I want to know about the health of the National League, but I'm going to go to bosox.com. It makes absolutely no sense at all whatsoever from a biased site, but hey, maybe they're citing some good studies. Spoilers, they aren't. A majority of American Muslims accept lesbian, gay, and bisexual people as part of society, according to new findings from Pew Research Center, marking a dramatic shift in attitudes over the past decade. Now, I could have pointed this out with the headline, but even just take a look at that sentence in and of itself. It's just the first point right there. A majority of American Muslims. The ones in the Middle East, they're like, oh, a man lay with another man? I don't think so, my friends. Yeah, no, they ain't dealing with any of that shit right there. That's still punishable by death in how many different countries? Like recently, at least recently at the time of recording, I did the video about Uganda, and guess what? There's a lot of Muslims in Africa, and how many of those countries have completely and totally outlawed homosexuality? Yeah, the might be the American side to this stuff. It very well could be, but then again, you also have American Jews that aren't practicing at all, and that they're simply ethnic Jews, and more people like that, or more of them, okay, side with Democrats. Like you got Bernie Sanders, I'm a Jewish man, and he doesn't practice at all. He doesn't wear the tiny hat. But when it comes to Orthodox Jews, your Ben Shapiro types, they're Republicans. You can, as far as you want to put them in that category, but they're more conservative minded. Like even the guys with the curly Qs back during the 2020 election cycle, big Trump guys marching around in the circle and I don't know, just doing all of their goofy stuff, but that's their traditions. They're very fervent on that. And whenever you get a much more traditionally minded community, they tend to be, if they're not indoctrinated when it comes to societal pressure, they tend to be more conservative minded in their views. So the American side of this stuff, yeah, if you're saying American Muslims, so people that come from Iran, people that emigrated from majority Muslim countries, that could be the case. But Muslims in general, trying to say that, yeah, the Muslim part of this is though that's the part that's been infiltrated. No. This is the American mind that has permeated a different culture. That's what I think. That's what I'm thinking over top of this, because nobody wanted to point that out. All they seen was, see, Muslims have been infiltrated. This was back in 2017, and we're seeing a very, very different situation. A majority of American Muslims, except if you got to reiterate it, that you know that you have a very, very strong position on this. But yes, except a lesbian, gay, bisexual people as part of society. What about the trans, though? You didn't have that on there. According to new findings from Pew Research, marking a dramatic shift in attitudes, 52% of American Muslims now agree with the statement homosexuality should be accepted by society. Not saying that they do, just saying that, yes, society, but what about you? Oh, no. Nearly double the number of people polled a decade ago. Survey also revealed that Muslim women, American Muslim women, okay, just take the Muslim part out of this equation. American women now are much more accepting of the big gay agenda than their male counterparts. Again, I'm not shocked by any of those specific findings. American women much more accepting of just degenerate shit. That's why there's that handy dandy book called the Holy Quran that curtails women's influence on society. And how are they doing? Well, hey man, your mileage may vary, but I take a look at cities like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and I think, you know what? They got a point. Pew also found historic support among Muslim millennials. Again, young children who have to go to school and are indoctrinated. Not at the same lengths in 2017 as they are right now, but still, okay, the whole love is love part of this stuff. Like, this was only 5 years after, same-sex marriage was unconstitutionally ratified by the Supreme Court, but it wasn't that far away, okay? U.S.-born Muslims, 57%. Foreign-born Muslims, 49%. Yeah, that's a big difference right there, okay? This marks a spike in support since 2011, when only 39% of American Muslims were accepting. A huge rise since 2007, where they were like, if you even ask me that question, that shit is super haram. Not accepting, yes, 61%. The gay agenda, then accepting 27%. But yes, I've got the methodology because I just decided, hey, we might as well take a look at this study to see if there's anything to it. Spoilers. Well, we can let the abstract do the talking on this. Okay, literature on Muslims. Oh, anyways, the research article. American Muslims' attitude towards homosexuality. Exploring the effects of gender, religiosity, and income inequality. Oh, great. Literature on Muslims and Islam has not empirically assessed the impact on American Muslims' gender, religiosity, income inequality, and interaction between the latter two factors. Oh, great. Trying to bring intersectionality to Islam. How well is that going to work out? Using logistic regression models fitted to the data from the 2017 Pew survey of U.S. Muslims, 712. That's how many were measured. So again, a big sample size that you had right there. Okay, you probably went down to New York City. It's like, hey, you look vaguely brown. You Muslim? Yeah. How many times do you pray a day? Twice a month? Good enough. Get over here. Get over here. You know. Findings reveal that men compared to women are more religious individuals, tend to express homonegativity based, while those from higher income households, luxury beliefs. Wow, imagine that. Whenever somebody is making more money, they seem to be more laissez-faire with what the poor people do. Likely agreed that society should accept same-sex relationships. Again, just put a pin in that for a second, because I got one more article that's really going to drive this home. Also, yes, Religiosity Prejudice Association is moderated by income inequality. These findings have important religious and social implications. Firstly, the prevailing approach of essentializing Islamic perspective on homosexuality as being favorable or prejudicial overlooks that we are socially contingent. The fuck does that mean? Sorry, I read words. I read them and I understood all of them. It's just that sentence, the way that it's constructed, it's supposed to be profound, but it's a big old word salad. So yeah, if somebody else does it, that's fine. But if it's in our group, yeah, no, go get fucked. Just not by another dude. Secondly, policies contributing to Muslim minorities' economic well-being can encourage them to embrace liberal religious and social values. Exactly. The people that are on the grind, yeah, they don't care about this gay shit. They're just moving on to something else that's a lot more substantive, which is also interesting. Whenever I'm listening to podcasts or doing stuff that involves, my nose to the grindstone, doing some actual work or listening to successful people share the wealth and the information and providing value to their audience, the topics of race and sex and all of that type of nonsensical bullshit, when it comes to intersectional relationships, like men and women getting together, that's a different discussion. But all of this, base level intersectionality doesn't fucking come up, and it's very refreshing because you can actually have a nuts and bolts conversation without being brought down to, well, what kind of nuts are you using? Are they self-locking? Are they die-lock? Are they copper? Are they brass? What's the thread count on those bolts? It's like, just shut the fuck up. But remember how I said, put a pin in, of those 712 Muslims that were supposed to be indicative of the American Muslim population, saying that, yeah, whatever anybody else wants to do is totally fine. What do they do in their own group? Okay, in a survey of American Muslims, this one's from 2019, so just a few years later afterwards, 0% identified as lesbian or gay. Here's the story behind the stat. Yo, man, they don't want it. Not in their house, man. Whatever you heathens, okay, whatever you infidels want to do, you go out there and do that. But us inside our group, we take care of ourselves over here. You go fuck off. Go do haram shit over there, okay? In the United States, you could count the number of mosques like Masjid al-Rabina on two hands. It's a small community built on the 5 pillars of inclusivity, including pledges to be woman-centered. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's going extremely well. Anti-racist, yeah. There's a reason that you can only count those on 2 hands. And welcoming to a variety of Islamic traditions. Mahadi Lin, a transgender super duper haram, helped found the mosque in Chicago in 2016. For several years, Lin attended a mosque in a small conservative Muslim community in Oklahoma, based where people believed she was straight cisgendered woman. Yeah, exactly, because it was just all kind of fit on that one. But of course, he moved up to Chicago, probably put on like 50 pounds, and was like, I'm a dude. And I was like, sure you are. There was always a risk of being outed, said Lynn, a Shiite Muslim. But at the time, I just wanted to focus on my faith. There's nothing wrong with that, and she's just trying to justify it. It's like, how can I make it? Oh, fuck. It's actually pretty rigid when it comes to this nonsense. Fuck. There are a few mosques, very few, becoming fewer by the day, because they're seeing all this nonsense, and it's like, no. It's very strongly against this type of fucking nonsense. You go ahead and you take it out there. These are the types of ideas that can only happen because they're Americanized versions of this stuff, bastardized versions. The traditional values of this stuff, they're taking a look at that and going, out, go, take it and fuck off. You're not a Muslim, no true Muslim, okay? Muslims for Progressive Values has 8 inclusive communities. 8, count them. 8 in the United States, from Atlanta to San Francisco. Berkeley, Kalbu Miriam Women's Mosque, which calls itself America's first all-inclusive mosque. It's probably the only one. Opened in 2017. Other like-minded mosques have struggled to find consistent congregants in recent years and closed down. Oh, sucks to suck. It's almost like Muslims. Get this. It's almost like they like their religion, like a lot. It's almost like there's 2 billion people and that number continues to grow while every other major religion is just shrinking in popularity. You know why Islam continues to grow? It's because they have a rigid structure. They don't put up with any of this shit. The bastardized little break-off sects, they wither and die, because if you don't stand for anything, you will fall for everything. And that's what they're finding out. Imam Dai Abdullah, 65, is one of the few openly gay Muslim clerics. I bet you go back for all of the meetings with the other imams that are out there. For 4 years, he labored to build a mosque for, the big gay ones in Washington, D.C. Oh, great. Frustrated, tired, and running out of money, Abdullah gave up and moved into the mountains of Colorado. You couldn't find enough gay people in Washington, D.C. You couldn't hit up Lindsey Graham's office for a small donation? I'm like, come on, man. Liberal Muslims says that there are hints of change. They cite this one example, but I would love to know right now, at the height of all of this insanity, what those numbers would come out to at this point. Still, for many LGBTQ Muslims, coming out of the closet to their families and religious communities can be a fraught decision. Yeah, exactly, because they know that their father put in that roof access for very specific reasons. I tell them that unless you're in a fantastic relationship with your parents, keep it in the closet until you finish high school and can leave the house. Exactly, and then never come back, because you know what they say. Oh, well, actually, we don't need to finish that. Oh, they may even be reluctant. Oh, okay, see? Oh, now they're doubting. Anonymous pollsters. Okay, yeah, according to a recent survey, they just put that right at the end there. More than 800 American Muslims, so larger than that Pew poll that you guys consistently cite and say, see, American Muslims are more supportive. Interesting. Yeah, 800 were surveyed. 0 of them is like, no, not in my house. No, fuck that. Islam is too important to leave anyone behind. Exactly. Take that headline right there. Islam is too important to leave anybody behind. Yes, exactly. If you are of the Islamic faith, okay, if you consider yourself a Muslim, then you have a spot that's there, okay? And there is no Muslim left behind. Islam is too important, okay? You just here's our traditions, here's our rules. If you want to support the cause, go for it. Fantastic. But if you want to break any of those rules, we got no space for you. And if there were more societies, if there were more communities like that were strong in their beliefs, we wouldn't have fucked up situations like a tranny selling beer right now, would we? So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.